And thanks for joining me for a look at what's in business news this week on The Morning Call. I am Amelia Martha Nashtimbo. Now, the Group of Seven Summit, commonly referred to as the G7, came to a close at the start of this week. My takeaway is the announcement of the biggest fund of its kind for African women, aimed at bridging the $42 billion financing gap between male and female entrepreneurs. Now, a numbers crunch here. This Affirmative Finance Action for Women in Africa, AFAWA, is a $300 million risk-sharing fund financed by the African Development Fund. On Sunday, the G7 countries approved a loan contribution of $251 million towards the initiative, with France alone contributing $135 million. Now, women constitute about 70% of the informal sector and only 40% of SMEs. That means that they are at a greater risk or a greater advantage in terms of accessing loans to grow their businesses, as Sharin, a vendor in the economic capital of the Republic of Congo, explains.
Microfinances are there to help us, the traders. But today, people no longer buy the goods as in the past. That's what makes taking a loan like putting a rope around your neck. That's the problem, because you may even have to sell off your land just to pay the loan. If the microfinances can review their interest rate, it will allow us to better organize ourselves.
Now, to get access to this fund, one needs a bankable business, and that's a catch. A bankable business can be simply described as one that delivers output, makes profits, and has prospects for growth. But proving that to banks is obviously not as simple as it sounds, especially when you're in the informal sector. Now, to remove this barrier, the African Development Bank plans to set up what it has dubbed a Women Financing Index, which will rate and rank all financial institutions based on their terms of lending and growth finance impact on women on the continent. And on the question of physical access to banks, the president of the African Development Bank has this to say.
I can tell you that we are going to engage all the financial ecosystems in Africa and other stakeholders in the cities and also in the villages. We are going to take advantage of mobile banking. With mobile banking today, it's a lot easier for women. I think that for women today, the easiest way is using mobile banking.
In English-speaking countries and not in French-speaking countries.
Now, with mobile banking, Adesina has previously shown admiration for transformational services like M-Pesa in Kenya. Uganda, on the other hand, is another example where banks have realized that there's a competitive edge in mobile banking. But as Angelique Kidjo rightly pointed out, the different sub-regions on the continent have different approaches and need different solutions. And then there's another thing that I realized when I spoke to some market women. Because of the general long-term barriers, some female entrepreneurs need to be reassured before considering facilities such as AFAWA.
Because it does not interest me, and I have also never tried. If I have the opportunity, I can try. And if one explains to me how it works and the benefits, I can also give it a try.
Angelique Kidjo, a three-time Grammy winner, is credited as one of the brains behind the design of this initiative. She says that she got the idea while speaking to market women in her home city of Cotonou. Herself a granddaughter of market vendors, she has pledged to give presidents headaches until the AFAWA initiative realizes concrete results. Take a listen.
Parler, ça ne coûte rien.
Talking doesn't cost anything. Acting costs money, and if you don't act, things won't progress. I'm telling you, the reason I'm here is precisely because of these women. You know very well that I will be the uncompromising guarantor of the commitments of the summit.
The AFAWA initiative aims to provide credit for up to $1 billion for African women entrepreneurs each year for the next 5 years. The initiative was launched back in 2016 in Zambia by African heads of state, and they handed it over to the African Development Bank. Well, if well implemented, this initiative will indeed empower a vast majority of African women, transform businesses, households, and African trade. But will AFAWA make financial institutions accountable to women entrepreneurs on the continent as it's intended to? Well, the answer lies in the next 5 years. And that's it for business this week here on Africanews. I am Amelia Martha Nashtimbo. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.